What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Everything Virtual. I'm joined by Ronnie. Ronnie, how's it going, man?
I'm good, doing well. How are you?
Man, it's
How,
today.
how yeah, how have things been? Because so before getting on this episode, we were like figuring stuff out strategy wise for the podcast, all that stuff, but we didn't actually get a chance to just like
Catch up and see how things are
catch up
going.
and yeah. So
Uh,
how have things been in Cali?
things have been all right. I don't know. We entered like phase two of this kind of release from lockdown, essentially out of phase two back to normalcy out of four phases. So we
Yeah,
have some like retail restaurants open now, or sorry, retail and restaurants that can do curbside delivery are open, um, and like parks and trails, things like it's all very muddy. So like honestly, for me, thankfully I have the ability to stay home, so I'm just going to
yeah,
continue doing that because I keep hearing some scary stuff. So
yeah.
I understand. I mean, we're not going to get into it in this podcast. I understand there's an argument to be made on both sides about the economy and all that. But
Sure.
right now, I feel like health and especially just with family, I want to make sure don't get anybody sick, don't get myself sick.
Yeah. No,
How about
I'm
for you?
same boat, honestly. Like I mean, it would be nice for things to open up once
Mhm.
the health issues are away, but for me right now I'm just too paranoid. Like I'd rather as long as I can stay at home and be able to manage things from here,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to do that. So like yeah, been trying to work out from home, been trying to, obviously
You've
I'm
been
doing
better
my
than me.
remote working. Huh?
I said you've been better than me. I have not been working out.
Yeah, so for me, it's like one of those things. If I'm not doing it, it's more a mental thing. Like
Yeah.
it drives me crazy. So it's like just all these little things to try to stay sane while we're
Mhm.
stuck inside.
I'm doing the flip side where I'm trying to eat healthier because
Yeah,
now we're home, so I'm having a lot more fun just cooking and like being creative
yeah.
with like healthier food options. So if I can get
Honestly,
that into the mix,
if you're
then
gonna do one or the other, honestly, eating healthy comes first. So
yeah, I know
that's
you can't out eat a bad diet, or no, you can't outwork a bad diet. Is what
yeah. No, so
I'm sure.
that's good. But yeah, so no, same boat, honestly. And I mean, I'm in St. Louis right now with my in-laws. We came here before the quarantine kind of hit, so we quarantined here
Decided to
in
quarantine there. Yeah,
at their home. So we've been here for a couple months now.
crazy how time
Chicago,
passed, huh?
yeah, been a lot of time. Chicago is still crazy, so that's what I mean. At
Yeah.
some point, I'm gonna have to go back, obviously, um, but just kind of waiting out to see what the work situation is going to be like and
Yeah.
all of that before going back. But yeah, I know they're kind of. I mean, I don't know exactly how they compare to California. I feel like California is ahead of where Chicago is, maybe in terms of some of this stuff, but
Mhm.
they're. It's sounding more and more like we might be stuck. I think we're in phase two of five phases in Chicago,
Yeah.
but I mean, we started in phase two. Like literally, when the phases came out, they're like, "We're in phase two,"
Yeah.
but it sounds like everyone's hopeful that we would get into phase three by June, which means that people can start going back to work that are non-essential. But it doesn't look like I'm starting to think that that's going to be more like mid to late June rather than June. But I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just taking it one day at a time at this point. So.
Yeah, for sure. No, like I feel very blessed. I have everything that I need here. So
Mhm.
as long as I'm able to work from home, me and my wife are switching off on watching the kids while each of us, take care of what we have to take care of and all of that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, no complaints. We've been managing, and hopefully everybody out there is doing okay too. So,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
yeah, I think this is going to be one more how things go in the long term. Just I'm
For
curious. I'm
it's gonna
curious
be a
what everything
while.
will look like in like a year or two from now.
It's gonna be a while before things go back to normal. But even then, like it's gonna be some new normal, new type of normal.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, speaking of new normals, Ronnie and I were talking a little bit before this podcast, and we're trying to get back. We're trying to take it way back to when we first started, and really focus on the things that get us excited about the podcast, and hopefully, some of the stuff that you guys have really enjoyed. So, game talk is one of that. But today, what we're going to talk about is just some news items. And normally we reserve that for State of VR, but with the State of VR only coming out once a month, we just figured that we want to be catching up on VR stuff more often than that. So maybe we'll still do State of VR. Maybe we won't. Not going to hold ourselves to that, but we definitely want to get back to doing a weekly news episode if we can. So this is our first week back at it, and we got a couple topics for you that we want to discuss. So The first one, which I think is actually very timely right now with the lockdown, is yet another way to work out from home, but this time in VR, and that's Supernatural VR, which is the, I guess it's being dubbed as Peloton, or what was it again? Hold on.
Yeah, like a VR Peloton. It's
Oh,
basically
Beat
like,
Saber meets Peloton is what
there
it
you
is.
go. There
And
you go.
so there's a subscription. I believe it's 30-day free trial, and you get a night, or it's $19 a month after that. I'm
Yeah.
looking here, and until June 1st. So if you want to sign up now, you can actually pay in full for the full year, 149. Otherwise, the
Yeah.
price will rise to 199. So it's about
Which I
35% off right now if
yeah.
you want to get it.
Yeah, and I think it's that's a decent amount off. And it sounds like once you get locked into that price, you get it indefinitely. I mean, it's still a steep price, but if you're really going to use it, $150 for classes and like I mean, if you're comparing it to something like Peloton, then it's not
Yeah.
a terrible deal. I've heard good things about the game, so it might be one of those things. I'm holding off because right now, I'm not able to commit to that type of a workout like on a regular basis.
I'm gonna
But
see if
as
I can.
soon,
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. Well, once I'm able, like probably in a couple weeks or so, I'm gonna start my 30-day trial. Just
Yeah. Same.
and then when I start it, I really want to see what I think about it. But I've heard the workouts are really good, and I've heard the game itself looks great, plays great, all of that, and I've heard I think the song selection apparently is really good. Like there's a lot of songs that people that you would want to work out to in this
Yeah.
game, like songs that people know. And so yeah, so I'm curious. I mean, the big thing I've heard is just it's a lot of money for what it is, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I
all of
mean,
these kind of things are expensive.
but
So
but again, right? Like $19 a month for people who are paying for a gym membership before. It's not bad.
no,
You
that's what
know.
I think. If you it depends on what you're comparing it to. I think if you compare it to just if you're on the market for VR games
Mhm.
and you just want to play VR, then yeah, you're comparing it to other VR titles. You can have a lot more of a varied experience trying all kinds of different things for $20 a month versus
Yeah.
just putting your money into one game. On the other hand, if you're comparing it to fitness programs with trainer, like it sounds like they offer new classes like regularly and all that sort of thing. If you're comparing it to that, then it's really not bad at all. Like
Yeah.
people spend way
Well,
more than $20 a month on all kinds of fitness stuff. So
yeah. I mean, I would say that if it's, I mean, this is where they're trying to distinguish themselves, right? Because like you were comparing it to a game where I think like for them, it really is okay. Take the concept of what Beat Saber is meets Peloton, right? So like this is an investment into your health rather than just like a fun game that you're putting on or showing off to people.
yeah,
And so an interesting line that they're going to be, or fine line that they'll be walking down. So it'll
yep.
be curious to see how people respond to it.
No, and
Um,
I appreciate the fact
yeah.
that they're giving you 30 days free trial. I mean, the other thing I've heard people kind of mention is, well, what if instead of doing a 30-day trial, they, had a base game for a certain price and then you could sign up for it or do DLC. Like, yeah, that's great too. But I mean, it sounds like they have a lot of, I mean, if they're willing to give you 30 days free to try it before putting down any kind of money whatsoever, that I think that speaks to the fact that they have confidence that they're providing something that'll be of benefit to people.
Yeah.
So so I can't really knock them for that. Like I'm really actually excited to try it. I actually want to give it a real go for 30 days.
Mhm.
So and I know I'm just too busy right now. So that's what so check back in with our podcast in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I know once I
No, same
once I
here.
sign up, I'm gonna actually try to do it for the full 30 days
See how it
and
goes.
then
Yeah.
report back and if I'm really liking it, potentially sign up. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll save it for a future, I guess, game talk or something, even though it's not necessarily a game. But yeah, if you guys want to sign up for it, 30-day free trial, 150 until June 1st. So
And I do like these kind of things. Like, I mean, who knows? I haven't played Supernatural VR yet, but in general, the idea of having this type of programming available to people that want to pay for it is really cool. Because I was just talking the other day. One of my nephews, he just got an Oculus Quest for his birthday, and My sister-in-law, I mean, I could see her using something like this if it's something that's really good. So like it's something that you can start recommending to people that aren't necessarily just into games.
Yeah.
Hey, get into VR because there are all of these unique ways to do other things that you would normally be doing in your life. So
Yeah, well, I mean, the ways to work out at home right now. I mean, obviously, I'm talking about the more boring ways, but
yeah,
if you can invest in a bike or a treadmill or something like that. Whereas I feel
yeah,
like this kind of takes Peloton to the next level just because of how immersive VR is, right? Like you can
for
really do,
sure.
and I mean, you probably can't do a bunch of crazy things with a headset strapped to your face, but
The
it would
ironic
it
the
would be
ironic thing is the ironic thing is with Peloton is that I have friends that have Pelotons and they've wondered, man, is there any way that we could do like VR with like
yeah.
im-
There's going to be a connection there at some point, I think.
yeah, so I don't know if people are working on or if there are already ways of doing that. Like
Mhm.
if listeners are out there want to comment, you know, eh,
Yeah.
add something like, hey, check this out. I'd love to go check that kind of stuff out. But
Hmm.
yeah, but I think that would be super cool.
Yeah, so well, we'll report back, but we just wanted to mention that for you guys now because they did release their pricing and it is available. So definitely check it out. Second news item we had was Echo VR, which Ronnie,
Yeah.
you were super hyped about. So I'm just gonna let you take it.
Yeah, it's just kind of more of an alert almost to people out there than just like a news item. I want to make sure that people are aware that Echo VR is in beta, open beta, so anyone can go check it out on the Quest. And I mean, it's labeled as a beta, but really it's just, I mean, they're even advertising it on the main store page as something that you can go download and play. So
Yeah.
and Echo VR, for those people that don't know about it, it was kind of like it was like a side game almost to Lone Echo, which was an Oculus Rift title. So on in the original Oculus Rift title, it's kind of like a zero G. Like you're a robot that has little thrusters on your wrists, and you can push yourself against the environment to move. And you can also kind of use these little thrusters to kind of float in a zero G environment. So that's the game. Echo VR was the multiplayer version of that game, basically, where they got away from the story stuff of Lone Echo and just took those mechanics of zero G floating around in space and put it into like a small arena
Mhm.
where a blue team will go against an orange team and you'll have a frisbee and literally you're just like floating in these zero G environments, pushing off against the environment, like trying to get to the other people's goals. And when you see people coming at you with the frisbee, you can like punch them in the face and it'll stun them. You can take the frisbee, and so it's almost like frisbee tag back and forth in this zero G environment where your body is modeled like a robot and the movement system is really awesome. The graphics are clean and like it's a very well made game. It's made by Ready at Dawn, I believe. So it's this is a like a AAA studio making a game, and it was great on the Rift, but on the Quest, it's particularly amazing because not having
The
the
tether there.
tether there
Yeah.
allows you to just move around as much as you, and it's free. And there's so many people with Quests, and now they just recently opened it up so that if you're playing on the PC, you can play with the Quest as well.
Hmm.
So if you have it, for your Rift or you're using Revive, like I was playing the game on my Index with the Revive, so you can do the same thing with the original Vive with any of the headsets that are PC VR compatible.
Hmm.
Uh, um, but anyways, yeah, it's just a great game, and I feel like
So
everyone that's played it, yeah, it's something that you can just put on and go in and play. And with VR, I mean, with VR multiplayer games, really, there have been a lot of cool ones out there, but the trick is always to find enough people to actually play them.
yeah,
But Echo VR right now, the
it's
fact that
hot.
it's
Yeah,
yeah, it's hot. The
because
fact that
it's
it's
free.
on Quest is crazy because bringing a title like this to the Quest, there is no other multiplayer game like the bigger budget, kind of more involved title like this on that platform.
Hmm.
So everyone, I think, is really playing this game. So if you have a Quest, you should definitely go and check it out. If you have a PC VR setup, download Revive if you don't have an Oculus Rift S or a Rift. If you do, great. Go and get Echo VR because you can play free and it's really a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to try it out. So appreciate the heads up on that. And it's
Yeah.
free, so you can't really go wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's wrap this up because I think we got just one or two more things which are closely related. I was telling you about spatial VR earlier, and I think you
Yeah.
mentioned HTC Sync. So
Yep.
for those who don't know, both of these are I guess like online virtual spaces that you can meet people in essentially, right? So
Yeah.
I know spatial VR, their big thing was obviously VR, but now I believe you can even join meetings or things like that from a browser or a desktop.
Okay.
And they've made it completely free, I believe, for the next couple of months just due to COVID. So definitely something to check out. I mean, it's interesting to see, companies like Zoom and Microsoft Teams and stuff like that, where you can like I feel like virtual meetings or virtual meetups are going to be more common, and the fact that like people are getting more headsets now, and something like spatial VR is open to like literally anything, right? Like you can go anything from Microsoft HoloLens to the Oculus Quest. You can use any of those headsets to access it. So that's really cool. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm gonna jump in just because I want to see what it's all about and see. There's very few people that I know who have VR right now, including you and the rest of the crew. But
Yeah.
I think as more people get it, it might be fun. And maybe what we could do is host an everything virtual meetup where people can come in and chat with us or something like that. And I think that could be a lot of fun. So stuff like that, definitely keep an eye out for. But if you're hurting for ways to, or not hurting, but if you're looking for ways to connect with people in a virtual atmosphere, it seems like there's more and more quality applications out there for you guys to use, with spatial VR and HTC Sync being some of those.
Yeah,
So
no, I totally agree. And I haven't done enough experimenting with some of that stuff because realistically, I mean, yeah, it's sometimes a hassle to throw on your headset and all of that when you just want to get on a quick call. But man, like sometimes it would be a whole lot of fun to just like mess around with people in a 3D space. Like, can you imagine like if you do have time to just like play around, like you don't have any serious like, and if you do have serious work to do that can actually benefit from having the 3D space and being able to utilize like washboards and that sort of like, it could be really useful. So
yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, with how much corporate meetings are occurring now in virtual spaces,
yeah.
I feel like, and I know we can get into the whole like, is VR here, is VR down the road, like whatever the case is. But eventually, at some point, people are going to have headsets. The
For sure.
facial tracking will be there. So yes, you can say we're at the beginning of something, but it's the beginning of something that will eventually make its way through. So I'm excited about it, and I think that there's a lot of potential for it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So now's the time.
Now is the time. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this news episode. We'll be back to do some game talk maybe later this week or early next week. And yeah, we're going to try and stick with this schedule with shorter episodes here. So let us know what you guys think. And stay safe out there. We hope you guys are doing well and staying safe and staying healthy.